It says the live video is starting. It's probably hearing me.
Mhm.
Hello, everybody. Hey, family. It is Saturday afternoon, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Hello.
And we are back again with another volume of Black and Married with Kids, Marriage After 70. So come on in and join us, join the conversation. Come on in, come on in, come on in. I know everybody should be tired from all that shopping y'all did today. We got 5 days left to Christmas. You believe that? 5 days. 2025 has just flown away.
Mhm.
And before we know it, it'll be a whole new year and we get to start this process all over again. But hopefully, we have learned something in 2025 that will make 2026 a little smoother. And if we haven't, we still got time. So come on in.
Come on in. Come on in.
Come on in. Come on in. Join us. If you're out there in Facebook land, I'm going to see if I can pick y'all up on the phone so I can see what's going on. Because right now I don't see anything, but I hope you guys are there with me. Out there in Facebook land.
Yes, come on in. Come on in.
Come on in, family. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Join us
Yes.
for Black and Married with Kids. We are here Saturday afternoon with Marriage After 70. I am Barbara Milburn.
And I am Joe Milburn.
And we are
Team Milburn. Yes.
Yes, because we are a team. Marriage is all about a team. Somebody said teamwork makes the dream work. But it's not always a dream.
No, it's not.
Sometimes things get a little hard.
Mm-hmm.
Today we're going to be talking about blended families and how do you navigate them. Blended families is a lot. You hear that a lot nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
And when Joe and I were talking earlier, just, trying to get in our head, some things that we wanted to share with you. It's different when you're looking back. Because we are in our 70s,
Mm-hmm.
our children are grown, our grandchildren are grown,
Grown. Yes.
and we have great-grandchildren. So we don't actually have any little people running around the house that we have to figure out. But when we look back, we can look back over the experiences that we have had over these years
Mm-hmm.
and have been able to look at some things that we may have done, we could have done better. Let's just say it that way. I'm not going to say it was right. I'm not going to say it was wrong, but we could have done better. And my grandmother used to always say hindsight was 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when she used to say that, I had no clue what she was saying.
Yes.
But now, when I think about it, it makes all the sense in the world. It's easy for you to look at something that's already gone by and analyze it and say what you could have done better. But in the midst of it, when you're going through it, you don't know. You're just trying to make the best of a situation.
Yes. Trying to learn as you go. And a lot of times, we say that's part of wisdom, yes. But is it correct? We make all kinds of mistakes and everything, but we're still here, we're still pressing on, and we're still trying to make things better.
Yes, absolutely. We were talking about the Brady Bunch.
Yes.
Y'all remember the Brady Bunch? I don't know the logistics, but Joe does. It was the guy had
3 sons,
and the woman had
3 daughters.
Okay, so it was 6 children. And that was maybe the first time we had seen on TV a regular series that had to do with 2 families that had come together and how they went about everyday life. Because everything is so different. And, they made it seem like everything was, happy-go-lucky, and they made all of the right decisions and choices. And, of course, it was TV, so it was still fixed so that the outcome would be happy.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not real life.
No, that's not real life.
Mm-mm.
In real life, you're going to go through some struggles. The parenting is different because you got a blended family, and the kids are reacting different because they don't know what's really going on. Unless you had long dating with the parents, the kids didn't get used to the non-biological parent.
Right.
So they was going through their changes, and they will act out sometimes. Sometimes they felt as though that their biological parent that's not there throw them away. Sometimes they feel as though that the biological parent is spending more time with the non-biological parent and just leaving them out,
Right.
So it's a thin line. It's hard work, to try to navigate through that. As Barbara and I was talking about my blended family life.
Yeah. Excuse me, when you say blended family, most people, and me too, when I chose this topic, I was thinking about a guy and a girl. They both have children. They come together. That's a blended family. But as we were talking this morning, I said to Joe, I said, you have been through several blended families and never really even looked at it that way because, first of all, both of his parents passed away when he was very young. Mm-hmm. One died when he was 6.
Both died when he was 6.
Okay, so they were both gone when he was 6 years old. Mm-hmm. So he went to stay with his aunt, that was his mother's sister, and he had a brother, and his aunt had a child. So now we got 2 brothers moving in with the aunt and the cousin, and they've made a family.
Yes.
So that family had to learn how to get along with each other. I'm sure the cousin probably didn't really feel that great about these 2 new sons coming into the family when he was used to just being the only one. Mm-hmm. Especially when you're an only child and then you're invaded by these people that you got to share all your space with. That doesn't usually go too well. Mm-hmm. And then his first marriage, the young lady that he married, she already had 2 children. Mm-hmm. And then they had 2 children together. So now it's 4. That's another blended family. Mm-hmm. And then when that relationship had dissolved and years later he and I got together, he still had 2 daughters from his first marriage, plus the 2 bonus children that he had because they still knew him as daddy. Mm-hmm. He didn't stop being their daddy. And I had a child. So that's another blended family. And then lo and behold, many, many years after that, one day we were sitting in our living room entertaining friends because at that time it was just Joe and I. We didn't have no children. Mm-hmm. My son was gone. Everybody was grown.
Yes.
And here comes this social worker knocking on my door with 3 little children, my grandchildren, and she gave me an ultimatum. Either you going to take them or they're going in the system. Mm-hmm. Well, that wasn't going to happen on our watch. So now we got another blended family. Joe had just retired from his city job. He had worked there 30 years. Mm-hmm. We weren't looking to take care of no children. But at the same token, when it's your family, when it's your legacy, you want to do what you think is the correct thing. And to us, the correct thing was to say, oh, no, you can't take them. Right. So like overnight, when I left work that day, it was just Joe and I. Yeah. When I came back the next day, I got 3 children.
Young children.
Young children. I believe the twins, because they're twin girls, they were 7, and my grandson was 8. 2nd grade, 3rd grade. So it was a whole thing all over again, getting them in school, getting them regulated, getting them dressed in the morning. I would come home from work in the afternoon and orange school uniforms and do hair. And some days I would just be so tired that I just didn't know how I was going to make it. I was telling Joe, I used to go and sit in my car just to get a break. Because even if you went to the bathroom, they was knocking on the door. Grandma Barbara, is you in there? I mean, like you couldn't get a break. So another kind of blended family. So there are lots of blended families that come into the context of your lives from, adult life until you go home to be with the Lord.
Yes, it's just life situation with us, what we had. And we had to not only take the 3 kids and our grandkids, we had to adjust and we had to make them feel safe and secure. So we had to kind of feel our way through and find out their likes and their dislikes. And we had to find out how to navigate through their bickering with each other, even though they was together for the 7 or the 8 years. We only had them once in a while throughout them 7 and 8 years. So we didn't know their lifestyle. We didn't know their attitudes. We had to learn all of that.
Right. And that's not an easy task.
No, it wasn't.
It's not an easy task.
No.
So let me say this before I go any further. I want to thank Dr. Dunamis D.
Yes.
And her daughter, Ariel Fuller. They are the owners of Black and Married with Kids. I want to thank them for giving us an opportunity to be on their platform, for trusting us.
Yes, thank you, Jim.
I don't take that lightly. You may ask, well, what are your credentials? All we can offer is what we have earned in life. Experiential knowledge,
Yes.
Dr. Dunamis D calls it. It's similar to YouTube University, if you get my drift. I say my university was the streets, because my mother, she wasn't a church person. I was primarily raised by my grandmother. That was my blended family. My mother, she had 2 other siblings, 2 other children besides me when she left me with my grandmother. So I lived with my grandma until I was 13. She passed away. When she passed away, I went to live with my mom. And when I went to live with my mom, here I am, the oldest child, coming into a household with 2 other sisters who were like, well, who are you? And why are you coming in telling us what to do? You just got here. So that was a blended family. That was another situation. Was it dealt with the right way? It was dealt with the best way my mother knew how to deal with it. Because parenting does not come with a book.
No, it doesn't.
There's nothing that tells you what's right. I mean, you got Dr. Seuss, but like, who is he? Like, really? There is no guide. There is no rule book. There is no, you should do this or you should do that. And sometimes the role model that you are gleaming from, or that you gleamed from when you were growing up, maybe their ways were not the best ways, but they were the only ways that you knew. So you adapted them, and of course you put them in your children's lives. And sometimes it was for the good, and sometimes it was not for the good, but you learn by your mistakes. And if there's anything that you can get from us, from our mistakes, that will keep you from going through the same thing, then you're a step ahead. So it's like knowledge is key. Sometimes we reject the knowledge, and I guess that's the sin, because it's there for us to learn, and we learn from each other. I had a quote, and I said this a couple weeks ago. I told you guys I was going to come back with it. It says, if we knew each other's secrets, what comfort we should find. And a lot of times the things we hide, the things we're ashamed of, the things we're afraid to discuss, are the things that we learn the most from. Because when you put it out there, you find out that you're not alone, that you're not all by yourself. And just like I used to go to my car and hide so I could get some peace, if I had other parents, even though I had raised my own child and our own children, this was a whole new experience. We were in our 40s, mid-40s when we got 3 children.
3 young children. And with the 3 young children, they had game.
Oh my God.
They would play games on it. We had identical twins. They would just have fun with us playing games. Just the identity thing, that was one thing.
Right.
And with the grandson, he would sit back because he was the oldest. He thought he could manipulate them to
manipulate us. So it's a learning experience. I'm going to say this unless you got something you want to say. I did a little research just to refresh my memory on what it's like having children. And these are some pointers that I picked up that I hope will encourage your heart. But one of the things they talked about was forgiveness. Joe mentioned fairness when we were talking about it this morning. When a child lashes out at you, they're good for telling you, well, you're not my mother. Well, you're not my father. I don't have to listen to you. When they're lashing out at you, it's not about you at all. It's really about them. They are going through a significant change in their life. Their security feels threatened. They don't know what's going to happen the next day. If all of a sudden their biological daddy is not a part of their life anymore, if he could just be ripped out of the family, or if they could just be ripped away from the family, who's to say what could happen the next day? Suppose this new man that my mother married ain't the one. Maybe he don't stay. Maybe he leaves too. Then what's going to happen? All kinds of thoughts go through their mind. They're confused. They don't know who they can trust. They probably harbor ill feelings about their dad because they feel like Joe said, he threw them away or rejected them, abandoned them is a better word.
Yes.
So all of that fear is in their little mind. And for us as adult people, when we have those situations where we have to deal with abandonment or rejection or fear, and just imagine how you feel and try to take those same feelings and imagine what a little person would feel.
Right.
So you have to always put their feelings first. No matter what you feel, their feelings are most important. And you have to bring to the table a solution to whatever that problem is, and you and your spouse have to figure out that solution together.
Yes.
Before you go to them.
Yes. You have to set your boundaries, and your boundaries should be strong against your spouse and yourself, so that the kids can have a little foundation, a little security, and they could feel loved. And you always treat them with respect and humility and honesty.
Yes.
Even though sometimes they don't do the right thing. They don't pick up their clothes. They leave the dishes in the sink, But before you just jump on them, you have to think about how you're going to present the problem to them where they would understand and they'll take heed to it and feel that they can survive with this family, and we're not out there to hurt them. We're out there to love them, to care for them. We're not trying to replace their biological parent at all.
No, not at all.
All we're trying to do is give them love.
And a better life,
and a
hopefully.
better life.
Right. I see this a lot. Parents are like this, talking to their child. Think about it. If you're a little person and this big person is standing over you, how would you feel?
That's intimidation.
How would you feel? And how do you expect that child to trust you? Even love you, because I can imagine a child would go to their room and close their door. In my house, you couldn't close doors, but close their door and, he makes me sick, or, she makes me sick. And then they start to harbor ill feelings against you.
Yes.
And then they start to plot and plan against you.
Mm-hmm.
They look for ways to pit you against the other spouse.
Yes.
So that you guys are arguing, and then they sit back and laugh at how they've gotten over because they think they've created confusion, which they have, especially if you and your mate aren't discussing what's going on. And this is something that this is just my personal feelings. I think sometimes you need to let your children know as much as you can without overburdening them what's going on in your relationship with your mate. Because I have seen instances where married couple had the perfect parents. I didn't have that. They had a father in the home, they had the mother in the home, or maybe the mother was a homemaker, the father went to work. What is that? A Leave It to Beaver, the Leave It to Beaver family, where everything was perfect. And so when they grew to be adult people and they got married and had children in situations of their own, and maybe their mate didn't come from the same kind of home foundation that they had, and the mate could be one who fusses all the time, and they're not used to that. They don't know how to handle it because they've never seen it in their families. Well, my mom and dad didn't fight.
Right.
They didn't argue with each other. I never heard them raise their voices at each other. But at some point they may have, but they just kept it hid so deeply that the children had no idea, so therefore they had no idea how to respond when they had those situations of their own.
Right.
Right.
And it's new to them, so they will probably act out themselves because they're going to wind up doing the same thing that the person is doing to them. They're going to fight back the best way they know how.
Right.
But with a strong foundation and a strong prayer life, I'm going to bring that in.
Yeah, got to have that prayer life.
Bring that into for the forefront. Prayer life. You can get through them things, and you can help your kids to get through them things, because they need to know how life is going to be. It's not going to be happy ever after.
That's a fairy tale.
It's not going to be smooth sailing. It's not going to be those things. They're going to have some bumps.
Life is ups and downs.
Yes.
Hills and valleys.
Yes.
Bitter and sweet. You always get a little bit of both, but God is there to help you get through whatever you're going through.
And you need to imply the kids to this too, so they can know how to handle little situations, because even though they're young and they're small, they go through stuff too.
Yeah, they do.
They go through stuff too.
Yeah, they do.
And another thing is that when we had the grands, we did have family meetings to find out what was in their head, how they felt.
That was something we learned that we didn't really do with our own children.
Exactly.
So you learn from your experiences. It's easier for us to look back and, like I said, look at things that we could have done better. But in the beginning, you don't know all that. There is no book. You really kind of feel in your way. And a lot of times, unfortunately, the children suffer from your lack of not knowing. If you think that discipline is a one-parent job, like, well, go see your father or go see, no. It should always be done together. The parent has to be united. And in the Gospel of Mark, chapter 3, verse 25, it says, a house divided against itself cannot stand. It just can't. And I'm smiling because there used to be a song. The name of the group was called S.O.P. Natalie Wilson, I think her name was, and S.O.P. And the house, your house won't stand, your house won't stand. And when I had the grandchildren, each one of them had a distinctive voice. One of the twins had a soprano, one had an alto, and my grandson was the tenor. And we would sing that song. We would be, your house won't stand. We'd be rocking in the car. So those are just some of the good memories. There's so many. I'm going to tell you this, and then we're going to try to get back on task. My grandson used to always come and ask us stuff. So one day, Joe and I, we were in the living room. My grandson was in the kitchen, and he got up, and he came to the doorway, and he asked us a question. I don't know what the question was. But whatever it was, I looked at Joe, and he looked at me, and we didn't answer. And my grandson says, oh, all systems must be busy now. I guess I'll come back later. I mean, and here he is close to 40, and we still laugh about that. We laugh about so much, and in all honesty, that's how we get through a lot of things. Because sometimes if you don't laugh at them, they will really make you stressed out and tearful and feeling challenged and feeling like God just ain't caring about you. And we all know that's not true. We all know that's not true. I can't believe how fast this time is flying. It is almost
Time for
6:30.
Oh, yes.
Again, I want to say thank you for joining us tonight on Black and Married with Kids. I want to thank Dr. Dunamis D and her daughter Ariel Fuller, who are the owners of Black and Married with Kids. I thank them for just the trust that they have in us to allow us to sit here and talk with you guys about some of our life experiences. I also thank both of them for the teaching that they have given us over the past few years that we have been closely connected with them. It is the best thing that has ever happened in my life because we learn kingdom principles, which is different than religion. And when I say that, I usually get a side eye and people look at me a little funny and, you know, I get all kinds of criticisms and da-da-da-da-da. But I know the difference in my life since I have been learning kingdom principles and not religious theology. Rules and regulations that were, a lot of them man-made or man-created, or just things that were made up to keep us in line, per se, or in check, because a lot of it, unfortunately, goes back to slavery time, when the masters wanted to keep us in check. They kind of rewrote some of the things in the Bible to make us think that God said. God never said those things. You know, but we grew up learning those things and believing those things and taking them from generation to generation to generation. So I truly want to give all hiatus, I don't know what the right word is. Kudos. Yeah, kudos to Dr. Dunamis D and her daughter Ariel and her vision to lead us in kingdom principles and in the way that our life really should be lived.
And also, also, Black and Married with Kids have a private Facebook group.
Yes. I forgot that. Thank you. They have a private Facebook page. And when you join, you will be privy to different things that go on in the Dunamis family. We always have so many different things that you can learn from, so many different things that you can apply to your life. It will connect you to the Healing for My Soul movement. There's a live podcast that drops, a new issue drops every Saturday. And so before we go, I just want to tell you real quick, please come back. I'm still waiting for you guys to help me with some topics. Give me some topics. Put in the comments some things that you would like to hear us talk about. Help us out a little bit. But come back throughout the week because there are various presenters that are here all throughout
Yes.
the week.
Mm-hmm.
And they have phenomenal topics. And they have a lot of wisdom and a lot of knowledge. And they drop a lot of nuggets. And I said this last week. I truly believe that in each 30-minute segment, you're going to come away with at least one nugget. And if you just apply that one nugget to your life and it changes your life for the better, just look how much you've improved, and then your child's life will be improved, your family's life will be, everybody gains from that one nugget. But we have Dr. Glenda Hayden. She comes, and her main subject is families and children, and she has something on Mondays at 12 noon called the Mom's Minute. And I think it's just so cute because she actually gives mothers a tip right in the middle of the day when they could take a break. Maybe they're eating their lunch or whatever, but they can get some information that might help them throughout the week. We have Pastor Gail and Pastor Stan. They talk about faith and marriage.
Yes.
We have Lisa and Garrett White. They talk about communication. We have Kevin and Maisha Booker. They talk about infidelity in the marriage. And then on Fridays, we have Sister Corda Johnson, and her theme is praying wives. So visit us throughout the course of the week. Come back. Watch the replay if you've missed anything, and go back and watch our segments and everybody else's segments too from week 1 and week 2. We add on every week. We'll be back again next Saturday at 6
o'clock.
6 o'clock.
Eastern Standard Time.
5 days till Christmas. So we won't see you guys until after Christmas. So we want to wish you a Merry Christmas. Remember to always keep Jesus in Christmas. Jesus is the reason for the season.
Yes, he is.
Regardless of when his birthday really was, because there's a lot of debate about that. But no matter when it was, if he was not born, there would be no celebration, no matter when the celebration occurred.
Right.
He was born to die, though. Die so that we might live again. And he gave his life so that we could all have a better life. But we got to trust him with our lives before he can make that work. Could he just? Sure. But he gives us choice. He gives us a choice. He's not going to push himself on us.
No.
If you don't want to be bothered with God, that's your loss. And I used to sit under a pastor who used to say, if you have not accepted him, then you have rejected him. That's a true fact. So, again, I'm Barbara Milburn.
And I'm Joe Milburn.
Team Milburn.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to say good night.
Good night. And Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, and we'll see you next week.
Next Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Be there or be
And
square.
Bring a friend. Get somebody to log on.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
And please send us some topics, okay? Love you guys. God bless. If you end this video now, you will be able to choose if you want to save it or delete it.